what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford in sunny Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We have it. This is a 2020 Ford Expedition, but the great news is, the big news, this is the return of the King Ranch trim. But before we dive into this particular one, let's talk a little bit about what this Expedition is all about. Guess what? This is currently Ford's largest SUV, slots in above the Ford Explorer. This particular one is known as the Expedition Max. So what that means is we're gonna maximize the length. It's got a little bit extra length to give you more interior room volume, and especially that coveted cargo area on this big SUV. With the return of the King Ranch, think luxury Western. That's what you're gonna get in this combination. And I really wanna showcase what the differences are when you go King Ranch, because a lot of people were missing this particular trim, but Ford wanted to answer those people's cries for bringing it back, and here it is. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 Ford Expedition King Ranch and see, really, is it the king of all large SUVs? Right off the bat, love this color combination. When you go King Ranch, what you're basically doing is you're going limited, starts off as a limited, and then they put that luxury Western motif. Now, looking at the headlight design, really think it's so smart the way they integrate the headlight into the grille. This is a multi-LED beam headlight. Love the bright silver inside and the way that they take the chrome grille and just lock it in perfectly seamless. As we come across that grille, here's something that you're gonna get that's different. The King Ranch, you're gonna get this darker bronze color. Really has a nice touch to it, stands out with your chrome. Of course, that iconic Ford logo, forward-facing camera, and then when we drop down, look what you get. You actually have functional side air curtains. So these are not fake, they're functional air curtains with the chrome trim, LED fog lamps, and then coming across the lower section, you'll notice that on the King Ranch, you have the darker trim. So not only on the grille, they brought some of that wonderful color to the lower portion here, and I really think with this blue, it just balances so nicely. It almost reminds me of the Eddie Bauer edition Explorers from the past and whatnot, but really clean look. Now when we get up onto that hood, I love the way the hood kind of just meets the grille very nicely. You have this C-shaped indentation, very bold, very muscular, and then as we come around the bend, what are we talking about on King Ranch? So looking at the side of the vehicle, everything's color matched. There's no black plastic. These are 22-inch wheels specific to the King Ranch. If you're wondering, well, what's that little squiggly line? That is the King Ranch logo, but you'll notice a nice machined aluminum finish. You have that darker gray metallic color, really separates it, plays a great part on styling. And then if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire? You're looking at a 235 on the width and a nice size 45 series sidewall on this particular 22-inch rim. Just pops really nicely with this metallic blue. Now, as we go into the fender, notice how they pick up this body line, bring it into the door. Here is our King Ranch badging, very classic, nothing too outrageous. And it just, there's a name that comes with it. There's that whole mystique, that luxury Western style. Look at how they took that darker color, brought it onto the mirror cap. So this is the same color from the grille, from that lower front fascia, brought onto the mirror caps, a little bit of gloss black. And then as we go down the side, you have your brushed aluminum trim along the bottom. I think it's so smart to keep it along the bottom and not wrap the whole window frame. You have, of course, those automatic dropping running boards. Really love that feature, especially the way they tuck right back in. And another thing is you get that same color from the mirror caps, from the grille, from the lower front fascia, also added on those running boards as well. Little bit of chrome trim on the door handles. We keep working our way back. When you go Max, not only are you getting extra length, but you're getting an extra large rear quarter window. This is gonna allow that third row passenger to feel nice, open and airy. And the way that the chrome trim comes all the way around and wraps around, really clean look. Some gloss black. This is actually for aerodynamic purposes. And the way that it kind of blends in nicely with the quarter glass into the rear glass makes it all look like one piece. You have, of course, LED brake lights. Great design on the inside, and then I really love the way that they did the trim here. You have the chrome with the Max logo, Expedition stamped into the back, just like Zeus himself, the king of all kings, the god of all gods, stamped Expedition into the back. Ford logo, super clean. You have a low roof spoiler, and then as we drop down, think about the cohesiveness. Same color combination. So you have that nice dark bronze color along the bottom section. No exhaust. The exhaust is nice and tucked up underneath there. Super clean. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this new Expedition King Ranch. All right, guys, we got the massive hood popped. You do have hood struts underneath that hood. When you go King Ranch, your decision is already made on power plant. So you're looking at a 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. That's 375 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. You could tow up to 9,300 pounds with your Expedition. And what's crazy is 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. MPGs, 17 in the city, 24 on the highway. It really shows the flexibility of this twin turbocharged. Remember, when we say EcoBoost in Ford talk, that means turbocharged power. This 3.5 liter V6 with those twin turbos give a lot of power. And you know what? Wait until the drive. You'll be surprised. You're not waiting for boost very long. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about the outside. We talked about underneath the hood. Let's see what you get when you go Western luxury in this King Ranch on the inside. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 King Ranch Expedition. It's back, and it's better than ever. I know you're probably asking, well, Joe, how much is this King Ranch Expedition? This one is a 4x2. It's not a 4x4. 4x2 Max Edition. Remember the extra length. You're looking at an MSRP of $77,600. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, I love the Western motif going on. Up top, you have that Del Rio leather, the beautiful contrast brown stitching. The Del Rio leather, they just spilled everywhere. I want to thank all the cows that sacrificed their lives for that leather. Of course, you're going to get the B&O sound system. And then down below, one of the largest door pockets. You could go do a Jimmy John's run for your whole family and just fill that up with footlongs and have a couple cans of soda in there to wash it all down. Now, when you get to the dash, that same wonderful leather, the stitch work, even on this top glove box, you press that, opens up, you can put your fancy gloves up top, and then you can put your ranch gloves down in the bottom, and you have a Twinkie shelf. That's actually patented Twinkie shelf from Ford. Real clean design. We get to the infotainment, we have a 12 volt, and then you're gonna have your 8-inch Sync 3 system. Yes, this has been around for a while, but it's still a very easy to use system. Navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Of course, you just saw me touch it, so it does have touchscreen capability. And then you could go into your different features, very, very simple. As you work your way down, you have your radio controls, dual climate, heated steering wheel, ventilated seats, and heated seats. So thank you, Ford, for keeping cowboys' butts nice and warm, or cool. I'm gonna go cool. And then you have the beautiful wood veneer finish on the whole center console. Open up door number one, what do we have? We have wireless charging, a USB-C and a USB. This is that rotary knob transmission selector for the 10-speed automatic. You do have different drive modes. You have a little breath mint holder here, so after you're working the ranch and you're gonna go kiss your favorite cowgirl, you could go ahead and pop a breath mint and freshen things up. The nice wood veneer, open up that door, 2 cup holders, put a couple bottles of milk that you just milk fresh right out of your cow, close that up, and then let me show you the key fob since I have it. I am gonna zonk the key fob. I wish that it had the King Ranch logo on there, but it's a nice size key fob. You do have remote start, which is great, your panic button, and you could remotely pop the rear hatch to let the cows out. But we'll put that there. Nice soft, that same Del Rio leather with the King Ranch logo in there and the stitch work. We open this door and look at this, party time tray. So you can put all your beef jerky here. And then in this area, you can literally go to Costco and get a Costco size bag of Lay's. And there's a 12 volt in there. So if you want to warm up your chips, you can warm up your chips right in your center console. Close that up, seats, beautiful leather, Piping is great. 10-way positionable seats for the passenger and the driver. The leather is soft, and I'm telling you right now, I've never been a fan of brown leather seats, but in this vehicle it works. It works really well. And then check it out, you go Max, we have the Max supersize panoramic sunroof for everybody in this vehicle. I'm gonna open up the sunroof. We're gonna keep moving that shade back. Once I close the sunroof here, so close the sunroof, and then I'm gonna move that shade back. Look at that. That's more glass than what's on the Empire State Building. I've actually measured it and tested it out. So everybody's gonna get a nice view in here. Plenty of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall. There's plenty of room here. Why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this King Ranch Expedition. All right, guys. Business time. You do have 3 memory seat settings, nicely placed with that Del Rio leather. I'm sure you probably heard me say that already, but I'm going to keep saying the Del Rio leather. Down on the sill, you do have the King Ranch logo to remind you every time that you're a cowboy or a cowgirl. Hey, anybody could drive this. You do have your 10-way positionable seat controls, that lower lumbar, very, very nice. And then the steering wheel. I'm glad that they took the Del Rio, have you ever heard that? Del Rio leather, put it on the steering wheel, super soft. It's got that nice baseball style stitching. The rest of the steering wheel is a little bland, so I am gonna zonk it, but it is very functional, easy to use, and it hides fingerprints well, so that's a big plus. Instrumentation is great. You have an analog tach, analog speedometer, and then you have that massive LED display, and I'll show you how you go into your different modes. So you have normal, you have snow and wet, tow or haul, sport, and then eco. So if you want to hug a palm tree, I don't advise it, but if you want to do that, you can hit eco mode and then go hug a palm tree. And then you have tons of other information there, makes it real great. And that's what's important about having a vehicle like this, is having all that readout. You even have a nice grab handle for all the passengers to get in and out. Especially, it's also nice to have those running boards. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the mid-row and see how your cowboys and your ranch hands are gonna enjoy riding in this King Ranch. All right, guys, mid-row time in the King Ranch. And I'm telling you, there's some nice touches back here. First of all, you're gonna get captain's chairs. And I wanna congratulate, I wanna salute, and I wanna send an award to Ford, because check out the thickness on these armrests. Not only on the captain's chairs are they nice and thick from top to bottom, but the width. A nice wide arm can sit on this very comfortably, and then if you want to move it out of the way, you could do that as well. Backs of the seats, leather all the way around. Thank you to all the cows once again for your sacrifice. You do have a nice pocket in here. You can put some rope. Maybe you're gonna lasso some things, or you can put some more bottles of milk here in the cup holders, or put them even in here. If you're milking that much from the cows, go ahead and do it. Home power source, 2 USBs, and you have your rear AC control. Very nice, very easy to navigate through, which is great. Why make it complicated? You have another Twinkie area in here. It's actually a Twinkie loading dock that is official from Ford, so that's nice to have. And then these seats are pretty much as comfortable as up front. Tons of headroom. I have rear AC vents in the ceiling, which is nice, because usually when they put them down below, it's so close to your ankles, you're just cooling your ankles. And then of course, we have, it's like riding a bucking bronco. You have a sliding seat, and then of course you're gonna have your reclining seat. So after a long, hard day on the ranch, take a nap. My only zonk is that you have heated seats, but no ventilated seats in the mid-row. That to me is major on a $77,000 SUV. But why don't we check out the third row and see what the Max brings for those passengers that are gonna be in the back. All right, guys, let me show you how easy it is to get in that third row. You just lift up on the lever, and then you're just gonna move the seat right out of the way. We have our running board, and we also have a nice real estate area of hard plastic to get in and out of. So you got mud all over your boots, you're not gonna get it on the nice carpet, at least when you're getting in and out. So getting in and out is so simple. Look at this. This may be a King Ranch, but I also feel like king of the castle. My knees are not my mouth. I still have headroom, plenty of headroom. I like the way they put the AC vents in the ceiling. You have power tilting seats. They tilt just a little bit, but hey, I think that's plenty for back here. And you have 2 USBs, cup holders, and little troughs for Skittles, Cheetos. Ooh, Cheetos. I think that's definitely, back here is definitely a Cheeto trough. You just dump them back here and let your little ranch hands munch away back here while you're going to the next county fair. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo area and see what we can maximize in this King Ranch Max. All right, guys, before we get into the cargo area, I want to show you, I do really like the way they have the ability to just open up the rear glass on the Expedition. If you just need to quickly reach in and out, it makes life simple. Or if you just go to the grocery store and you put some bags in there, you don't have to pop the whole rear hatch, which is kind of nice. Now to open up the hatch, simple, nice electric assist, opens up very quickly. You have a good wide opening, nice height, and you can see with the seats up, we're working with a ton of space here. You have storage bins underneath. You can even construct a shelf area back here to do tailgating. You have your emergency Twinkie holder on the side. There's those troughs I was telling you about. You can load with Cheetos and Pringles and everything else. And then you have your electric seat controls. Very, very easy to use. Watch this. So you want the seats to go down, you just push the button. There's one side, there's the other. You just push it once and then you can just let the magic happen. Drops down smooth. Look at how nice and flat that loading area is. And if you want to fold down that other seat, there we go. Now you have over 100 cubic feet of space. If you get kicked out of the house or you get kicked off the ranch and you need somewhere to sleep, get yourself an inflatable mattress, you have a mobile apartment. You have a mobile bachelor pad if you're now a bachelor because you got kicked off the ranch. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about all the fun you can have inside sitting here or with your air mattress. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this King Ranch Expedition Max for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. We're in the 2020 Expedition King Ranch Max setup with that maximum space. Right away, it's unbelievable how the King Ranch trim just really transforms the interior. That Del Rio leather, the nice brown with the brown contrast stitching, it's actually very, very classy in that Western luxury style of things. Let's see what acceleration is like. I'm gonna slow down here. Remember, we got that twin turbo EcoBoost 3.5 V6 on throttle. Here we go. Digs down and you are off and running. With those smaller turbos, you're not waiting around for the boost, and that 10-speed shifts like a hot knife through butter. Visibility is great. You can see if cab drivers are going to pull out in front of you very easily. Looking out the back, it's super duper clean. And what's wonderful is that overall the seating space is great in here. Love how comfy the seats are. 10-way positionable for the driver and the passenger. The only thing that I think your passengers in that mid row are going to be missing is ventilated seats. I have the ventilated seats on right now because it's hot as heck. I feel like I live on the surface of the sun in Clearwater, Florida right now. But other than that, really, really just comfy up here. Having the rotary dial shift knob may not be the sexiest looking of shifters for a transmission, but it definitely cleans up this area. On the center console, you got all your places for all your favorite snacks, whether you are a Snickers lover or a Twinkie lover like myself. And then you're gonna have that flexibility of the extra room. So I think that if you are seriously considering going after what is like the king of all full-size SUVs, I really think this King Ranch knocks the ball out of the park. All right, guys, we're getting out onto the highway in the Expedition. So easy to drive, really, and it's so smooth. As you can see, I'm doing around 65 miles an hour. Very, very smooth going down the highway. Now, what they do for the King Ranch, since it is based off the limited trim, is that you are going to get more sound deadening and you are getting thicker glass. So that's going to help cut out some of that road noise and wind noise from outside. But super smooth going over those expansion joints on that overpass. And then on top of that, if you want the good sounds, you got your B&O sound system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I know everybody is very excited for wireless connectivity, because that is coming very, very soon with the Sync 4 system. But this one has the Sync 3. Still a great system, very, very fast reacting. You have your navigation and everything, your AC controls you could get into. But let's see what this Expedition does in the handling department. So going into this left-hand bend, on the brakes, feels great. I'm telling you, for a large vehicle, look at this. Turn in, nice and crisp. Round and round, around she goes. On throttle, 10-speed digs down, and we're off. So you can have the whole football team in here. You're taking them to practice, and you'll get them there early. You won't even be on time. You'll actually be early in this Expedition Max and have all the gear in the back. Just really a very versatile, large SUV. And like I said, if you've never been in anything larger than, say, a Ford Escape, and you're kind of worried on, well, is this too cumbersome? No, they drive really, really well. Let's see how we do into this left-hand bend coming up. On the brakes, in our Expedition King Ranch. Giddy up, here we go. Very nice. Look at that, look how it holds the line. Drift out, apex down, and we're off. So hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what it's like to have the King Ranch back. Remember, it's been a few years since the Expedition was available in this trim. I definitely am very happy to see it back, because it is a very classy Western luxury feel in here. I'm digging it. But I will see you back at Walker Ford, partners. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Walker Ford. Definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Benji, Mark, Austin, everybody here, Jason, Greg, so accommodating, so awesome to get us their first King Ranch. This is the reintroduction of it on the Expedition. I think for somebody who needs to haul a lot of ranch hands, you have plenty of room, not only for those ranch hands, but also all the cargo that goes with it. And I'm really digging the way that it's a nice, tasteful trim rather than a bunch of just stick-on stuff. But if it's vehicles like these that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rides, these maximize, full-size reintroduction of SUVs, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Victor out here working it like a champ. He's actually going to move out and leave Florida to go live on a ranch in Texas. So thank you, Victor, for your hard work, and happy trails. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.